and welcome to Redline Nation. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you Project Geronimo. So Project Geronimo all started about 5 years ago when me and a friend of mine were pulling one of my old cars apart that I blew up. And as the engine was coming out of the engine bay, it twisted round 90 degrees and went north and south. After that, the light bulb lit up and an idea came to do a rear-wheel drive mk4 Astra. And after about 3 years or so of waiting for the right time to start the project, I picked up my SRI turbo. So after a while of thinking while I was stripping the car down, selling the parts I weren't going to use anymore, we had to think about what engine to use, gearbox, and what running gear to use, suspension, subframes, diff, so on and so forth. So after a lot of thinking, we came up with the idea of using RX-8 suspension and subframes due to the fact that they're all compact, they're all mounted to the subframe, so it makes mounting a lot easier. The only thing I've got to make and mount is the subframe itself, and obviously mounting points for the shocks as well. In terms of the gearbox, we wanted something that was going to be readily available, cheap to buy, but strong enough to handle the abuse. And after a bit of research, the BM boxes seem to be quite good. So we've got a I think like a 07, 08 530D gearbox. And engine wise, originally we did mount the original Z20 engine into the engine bay, but it seemed a bit empty, and to build the engine strong enough to take a decent amount of power, it was going to cost a lot of money. So after a bit of sort of chucking a few ideas around about maybe putting a BM engine in and turboing that, or maybe doing like a V8 build or something like that, we decided an inline 6 was going to work best. We needed something that was going to sit in the middle of the engine bay, so the BM engine was out, given that they tend to mount on a slant. So it was sort of a choice between an RB engine and a 2J. The RB engines are a lot dearer, and the 2J engines, the non-turbo variants anyway, were at the time quite cheap to buy. So that's the route we ended up going down. So fast forward 2 years of blood, sweat, tears and beer, here we are. This is the point we're up to with the build. So the engine bay is all painted, all the underside's been undersealed, most of the fab work is complete. There is a few bits and bobs that need doing, but nothing major. On the inside, we are doing a lot of the wiring, starting a big process of changing how the wiring loom routes, where it routes, getting rid of some wires that aren't needed, repurposing some wires for other jobs. Like a lot of the airbag wiring will be reused for other things. Saves routing fresh wires through for no reason when there's already wires to use. So the next task will be getting the engine and gearbox ready to go in. That's not going to take too much work. I'm not going overboard, I'm not building the engine, it's going in as is for the time being anyway. So yes, it will be high compression, but the internals, other than the pistons, the rods, the crank, are exactly the same that you find in the GTE engine, so they can handle the power, no dramas. They can handle boost. Obviously, it hasn't got the under piston oil squirters as far as I know, which is not great, but given I do not intend to run too much boost through this for the time being, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. So this was just a quick episode. Future episodes hopefully will be a lot better as I learn how to use the editing software and whatnot, and remember to actually record things. If anyone's interested, hopefully you are. If you're not, then it's not everyone's cup of tea. If you go over to my Facebook page, there you'll find all pictures and whatnot of Project Geronimo, and also the project track bike that I've built that's nearly done now, and a car racer build I'm doing that's taking a bit of a back step for the time being, and previous projects and whatnot that I've done, but I'm hoping to be doing more YouTube videos rather than just posting pictures on there. Also, something to look forward to in the future is a series of how to go motorbike racing on a budget, which is what the track bike has been built for, to race at hopefully Darling Moor next year. So thanks for watching the first episode of Redline Nation. Links will be in the description for the Facebook page, and until next time, have fun, stay safe, and keep the petrol head community alive.